G'day and welcome to the Newington Armory disc golf course at Sydney Olympic Park. My name's Matt and I'm going to take you on a guided walkthrough of the 18-hole yellow course layout, which is the secondary layout. If you're interested in the primary red course layout, check my other video in the card above. If you're playing a casual round, you can play the course however you like, but if you're playing competitively, you'll need to be aware of the mandos and out-of-bound areas. If you're playing for the first time, the UDisc app is highly recommended with the GPS tracking turned on. The yellow tees are marked by dot markers placed in the grass and can be extremely difficult to find. All distances shown in this video have been measured with a laser rangefinder from teepad to basket. You'll find the GPS coordinates for T1 in the video description below, and you can find it by entering the Jamison Street gate, walking up the road, and the tee is off to the left after the left turn at the top of the hill. Also, you can check out the video description for a link to a full course review. Starting with a tricky 182 metre par 4. Off the tee, you've got to split the two trees, miss the light pole and stay off the OB road. If you can manage that, then you've got to stay to the right of the first mando tree on the left hand side, and you want to try and place your disc between the mando and the lone tree out to the right. For your next shot, you've got to stay to the left of the mando tree on the right side and stay off the OB road. If you can throw two perfect shots, you'll be looking at a chance of a birdie, but most people will be happy with a par on this one. Once you've finished this hole, turn around, continue on to the road, and then walk along the road about 20 metres to the tee for number 2. Hole 2 is a 96 metre par 3 playing identical to the red layout. You'll be looking at a forehand or a backhand turnover, trying to stay out of the right side tree, which is also a mando, and also look out for the small tree short of the road. It grabs a lot of discs, and stay off the road, it's OB. Most people will lay up short and play for the par. Once you've finished this hole, continue straight ahead and up the hill towards the house and aim for the big tree. Just to the left there, you'll see a septic tank, and just near the septic tank, you should find the yellow markers for tee number 3. Hole 3 is an interesting 96 metre par 3. On this hole, the two roads and the grass in between them play as a hazard. If you do land in the hazard, you play the disc where it lies with a 1-stroke penalty added to your score. This is a hard hole to get close to the basket because the road is in front of the basket, so most players will shoot long or head out to the left-hand side. Once you've finished hole number 3, turn back around and head back up the hill towards the house and make a beeline for the back door. And then once you get to the end of the concrete, turn around and you should see the yellow markers, and the tee is on the corner of the paved area. Hole 4 is a straightforward 94 metre par 3. You can throw off the concrete or the grass just to the left. You've got a row of trees on the right side with an OB car parked behind them, and there's also a large tree about 30 metres in front of you off the tee, which grabs a lot of tee shots. Either split the gap or throw a forehand hyzer out to the left side of the tree. Nothing too tricky about this one if you can get a clean drive off the tee. Once you've finished this one, you've got quite a long walk to the tee for hole number 5. So you want to head back up the hill towards the shed, and then you'll cross the path and then keep heading back down the road towards the group of white buildings near the fence. And once you get down here, you'll find on the road 2 yellow tee markers marking the tee for hole number 4. Hole number 5 is a really tough 173 metre par 4. Off the tee, you've got a narrow gap through the trees with a very low ceiling. It's typically a 50-50 if you make it through cleanly. You've then got a mando tree on the left side of the fairway that you need to stay right of. If you nail your tee shot, you'll be left with a downhill drive to the basket, protected by a large bushy tree in front and OB road short of that. This hole is all about getting the tee shot right. Once you've finished hole number 5, you've got another long walk to the tee for hole number 6. Aim for the fire hoses, and if you follow those 2 fire hoses back in a straight line towards the fence, you should find a large tree, and just near the large tree you'll find the tee markers for hole number 6. Hole 6 is a downhill 104 metre par 3. Another tight tee shot here between the trees and keeping it below the low branches. Plenty of open space out to the left hand side, but if you want to attack the basket you'll need to be aware of the right side trees and branches which grab a lot of errant drives. If you manage to go over the fence, that's OB, and there's also OB in the long grass behind the basket. This hole is more challenging than it looks. Once you've finished, we're going to just turn to the left-hand side of the fairway, and the next tee is just before you cross over the creek. Hole 7 is a long uphill 98 metre par 3. Off the tee, you just need to miss the trees on either side, and then it's fairly open until the lone tree before the basket, which is tucked in amongst a group of gum trees. Over the fence on the right side is OB, as are the reeds in front of the tee. You can be easily punished on this hole if you stray too far to the left or the right of the basket. The tree branches can be very thick in spots, blocking any shot at the basket. Once you're finished, you'll continue on straight into the back corner of the armoury, where you'll find the tee for hole number 8. Hole 8 is a short but tight 58 metre par 3, playing identical to the red layout. This is the shortest hole on the course, but don't let that fool you. It's a tricky hole with trees lining both sides of the fairway and an OB road to the right of the basket. If you get the tee shot slightly offline, you can be stuck deep in the trees scrambling to make par. But get the line right with a slight amount of fade and you can give this one an ace run. When you finish this one, turn to the right and follow the dirt path in amongst the trees, and about 20 metres in you'll find the tee for hole number 9. Hole 9 is a 143 metre par 4. You'll start this one deep in the trees with a partially blind tee shot. The road and everything to the right of the road is OB. You can play it safe out to the left of the tree, or if you're feeling good, you can fire one straight down the road and skip it back in towards the basket. There's a large tree in front of the basket, which can block upshots, and also be aware of the OB reeds behind the basket. Once you've holed out on hole number 9, head right out onto the road and turn around and head back towards where you've thrown from. And over near the lone tree, you'll find the tee for hole number 10. Hole 10 is a 91 metre par 3, playing similar to the red layout, except for the tee being 3 metres further back. The road and everything to the left of the road plays as OB, and if you go OB off the tee, you can either re-tee or progress to the drop zone here just to the left of the first big tree. Anything that goes OB from the drop zone plays normal OB rules. The large tree on the right side of the basket has some low branches which catches a lot of drives, and if you throw a good shot off the tee, you can be rewarded with an easy birdie. But get it slightly wrong though, and you're going to the drop zone and a bogey at best. When you're finished, you're going to turn to the right and head back towards the back corner. It's a fairly long walk, and you'll want to aim for the top of the bunker that's standing up there. And the tee is then located about 5 to 10 metres from the bunker. Hole 11 is a 90 metre par 3. The tee markers for this hole are almost impossible to find. The road is all OB here. You can play safe off the tee to the grass on the left side, or you can attack the basket. But beware the branches on the trees in front as they hang over the OB. If you hit the branches, your disc is likely to drop straight into the OB. And if you really get your tee shot wrong, over the fence is OB. Once you've finished this hole, turn to a left, cross the road and up the bank, and you'll soon find the tee for hole number 12. Hole 12 is an interesting 204 metre par 5. The road off to the right plays as an OB river, and you'll need to cross this road about 70 to 80 metres off the tee. If you're not confident or you want to play safe, you can lay up short of the road, but if you've got a good arm, you can try and smash one over the road and through the gap. But the branches here can be grabby and they like to drop discs in the bushes or on the road. The second road is not OB, and you want to stay out of the trees on the right-hand side of the fairway. Before the basket is a large tree that you'll also need to clear. And over the fence behind the basket is OB. 3 good shots and you're looking at a birdie, but get any of these shots wrong and it can easily turn into a bogey or worse. Once you've finished hole number 12, turn to the left and head back towards the group of trees. And in amongst the first 2 trees here, you'll find the tee for hole number 13. Hole 13 is a nice and short 63 metre par 3 to an island. From the tee to the road and including the road is OB. If you go OB off the tee, you progress to the drop zone, which is about 15 metres from the basket. The basket sits about 1 metre in front of a steep bank, which also leads down to an OB road, and everything behind the road is also OB. Watch out for the low branches on the left side of the basket. When you're finished, turn to the right and head down along the top of the bank. And when you get to the junction at the road, you want to turn left, and in line with the junction you should find the tee for hole number 14. Hole 14 is a treacherous 89 metre par 3 that plays longer than it looks. The road and everything left of the road is OB. You can play it safe and throw out to the right side for an easy par. But if you want that birdie, you'll need to attack the basket. But get it wrong and you're either OB on the road or in the bushes. Once you've finished, turn to the right and then head down towards the group of trees. And just before you get to the trees, you should find the tee for hole number 15. Hole 15 is a 75 metre par 3 with a couple of different options. The obvious route is straight through the narrow gap with a forehand or a turnover backhand. There is another option, which is to use a really stable disc thrown from the back right corner of the tee through the gap out to the right side. The road in front of the tee is not OB, but the long grass behind the basket is. Once you finish this one, you'll want to continue pretty much in a straight line, perhaps out a bit to the right, and aim for the big lone tree next to the reeds, and you'll find the tee just next to the tree. Hole 16 is a short 119 metre dogleg par 4. The main feature of this hole is the mando tree that you need to stay to the right of, and there's also OB marked by the long grass and everything on the other side of the ditch, which runs all the way down to the basket. Off the tee, you'll want to aim out to the right, leaving you with a short upshot to the basket, but be careful of rollaways near the basket as your disc can easily go OB here. Once you're finished, turn to the right, do a bit of a U-turn, and head back towards the road, and where you'll see the two roads split apart. And just near here, you'll find the tee for hole number 17. Hole 17 is a cheeky 132 metre par 4. There's a double mando off the tee, and you'll need to throw between the trees here. In competitions, this hole will sometimes be set up as a double island, where you'll throw a finesse shot off the tee to a small island and then a longer second shot into the 10 metre island around the basket. The road and everything to the right is OB, and also everything to the left of the ditch on the left side, including the reeds and the long grass down close to the basket. Play it smart and you should be able to grab an easy birdie. And if you've got a good arm, you might be able to even reach the basket on this one, setting you up for an eagle attempt. Once you've finished hole 17, we've got a bit of a long walk to hole 18, so you'll want to continue on and to the right onto the main road. Walk down the road towards the river, and then you're going to cut back up the hill towards the shed up there on the left. Just keep an eye out for discs and players coming down from that other fairway, so you may need to cut it closer towards the shed if there are other players. And then when you get to the shed here, the tee is on the end of the concrete pad. The final hole, hole 18, is an uphill 93 metre par 3. You'll be playing off the concrete pad, and the challenge on this hole is to find a gap between the trees short of the basket and get the disc height just right, that it clears the mound but below the branches. It's a difficult one to get right, and most of the time you'll either land short of the mound or hit the trees, and then you'll have to navigate your second shot through the gap. However, if you get it right, you can skip through and have a chance at a birdie. If you do want to return back to tee number 1, turn to the right and follow the path and head back across the road where you'll find tee number 1. So that brings us to the end of our walkthrough of the yellow course at the Newington Armory. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the Disc Golf Down Under channel for more disc golf content. Good luck out on the disc golf course, and I'll see you in the next video.